What if I told you that a civilization older than the pyramids of Egypt holds secrets so astonishing they could rewrite everything we thought we knew about human history? Picture this, a clay tablet etched with strange symbols over 5,000 years ago, sitting in a dusty museum vault. This isn't just any artifact, it's a piece of the world's first writing system, created by a people who built the first cities, invented the wheel, and even wrote the first epic story. These were the Sumerians, and their legacy is nothing short of mind-blowing. The Sumerians weren't just ahead of their time, they were the architects of time itself, shaping the foundations of modern civilization in ways we're still uncovering today. From their mysterious ziggurats reaching toward the heavens to their tales of gods and floods that echo through history, the Sumerians left behind a treasure trove of secrets waiting to be unraveled. In this video, we're diving deep into 25 astonishing secrets of the Sumerians that will leave you speechless. These aren't just random facts, they're revelations that will challenge what you thought you knew about ancient history. So buckle up, because by the end of this journey, you'll see the Sumerians in a whole new light. Ready to uncover the mysteries? Let's begin. Now turning to the first of the Sumerians' groundbreaking achievements, we uncover the invention of writing. Imagine a world without written words, no books, no contracts, no way to record history. The Sumerians changed all of that with the creation of Cuneiform, the world's first writing system. This wasn't just a simple set of symbols, it was a revolutionary leap in human communication. Cuneiform began as pictographs, simple drawings that represented objects or ideas. Over time, these pictographs evolved into more abstract symbols, allowing the Sumerians to record complex thoughts, transactions, and even stories. This transformation wasn't just about convenience, it was about power. With Cuneiform, the Sumerians could keep detailed records of trade, manage their vast city-states, and codify laws. But the impact of Cuneiform went far beyond Sumer. It laid the foundation for every writing system that followed, from Egyptian hieroglyphs to the alphabet we use today. Think about it, every email, every text message, every book you've ever read owes a debt to those ancient scribes who first pressed stylus into clay. The invention of writing didn't just change the Sumerians, it changed the world. It allowed knowledge to be preserved and shared across generations, creating a bridge between the past and the future. And it all started with those mysterious symbols etched into clay tablets over 5,000 years ago. As we move forward, we'll see how this incredible innovation set the stage for even more astonishing achievements by the Sumerians. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the profound impact of their first great secret, the invention of writing. Now turning to the next monumental achievement of the Sumerians, we delve into the rise of the world's first cities. Picture this, sprawling urban centers bustling with activity where thousands of people lived, worked, and thrived together. This wasn't just a collection of huts or villages, this was the birth of civilization as we know it. Among the most famous of these early city-states were Uruk and Ur. These weren't just settlements, they were marvels of urban planning and engineering. The Sumerians designed their cities with precision, creating grids of streets, residential areas, and public spaces. They built intricate irrigation systems to support agriculture, ensuring a steady food supply for their growing populations. At the heart of each city stood the ziggurat, a massive step temple that served as both a religious and administrative center. These towering structures weren't just architectural feats, they were symbols of the city's power and connection to the gods. The ziggurat of Ur, for example, was a place where priests conducted rituals, offerings were made, and the community gathered for festivals. But the cities were more than just physical structures, they were hubs of culture and innovation. Artisans crafted intricate jewelry, potters created beautiful ceramics, and merchants traded goods from distant lands. The social structure was complex, with kings, priests, and scribes overseeing the city's affairs, while farmers, laborers, and craftsmen kept the economy running. These early cities weren't just places to live, they were the foundation of human society. They allowed for the specialization of labor, the development of art and culture, and the creation of laws and governance. In many ways, the modern metropolis owes its existence to the pioneering spirit of the Sumerians. As we continue our journey through the secrets of the Sumerians, we'll see how these cities became the stage for even more astonishing achievements. But for now, let's marvel at the ingenuity and vision that gave rise to the world's first urban centers. Now turning to the next remarkable secret of the Sumerian civilization, we uncover the world's oldest known literary work, the Epic of Gilgamesh. This ancient tale, etched into clay tablets over 4,000 years ago, is not just a story, it's a profound exploration of what it means to be human. The epic follows the adventures of Gilgamesh, the powerful but arrogant king of Uruk, and his companion Enkidu, a wild man created by the gods to challenge him. Together, they embark on a series of heroic quests, battling monsters and seeking glory. But the heart of the story lies in Gilgamesh's search for immortality after the death of his beloved friend. This quest leads him to confront the inevitability of death and the fleeting nature of life, themes that resonate deeply with the human experience. What makes the Epic of Gilgamesh so extraordinary is its timeless relevance. It explores universal questions about friendship, loss, and the desire for eternal life, questions that still captivate us today. Its influence can be seen in later myths and literature, from the biblical story of Noah's Ark to the heroic tales of Greek mythology. The discovery of this epic in the ruins of ancient libraries was a groundbreaking moment for historians. These clay tablets, preserved through millennia, offer a rare glimpse into the thoughts and beliefs of the Sumerians. They remind us that even in the distant past, people grappled with the same existential questions we face today. The survival of the Epic of Gilgamesh is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling. It connects us to our ancestors, bridging the gap between ancient and modern civilizations. As we continue to uncover the secrets of the Sumerians, this epic stands as a shining example of their intellectual and cultural achievements. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore how the Sumerians' innovations in mathematics shaped their world and ours. Now turning to the next groundbreaking achievement of the Sumerians, we delve into their remarkable contributions to mathematics. The Sumerians were pioneers in developing one of the earliest known numerical systems, and their innovations laid the foundation for many of the mathematical concepts we use today. At the heart of their mathematical system was the base 60 or sexagesimal system. Unlike our modern base 10 system, which is based on the number 10, the Sumerians counted in groups of 60. This might seem unusual at first, but it had significant advantages. For example, the number 60 is divisible by many smaller numbers like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, and 30, making calculations more flexible and efficient. This base 60 system had a profound impact on how we measure time and angles. Even today, we divide an hour into 60 minutes and a minute into 60 seconds, a direct legacy of the Sumerian system. Similarly, the division of a circle into 360 degrees can be traced back to their mathematical ingenuity, but the Sumerians didn't stop there. They used their mathematical knowledge to advance fields like astronomy, architecture, and trade. Their astronomers relied on precise calculations to track the movements of celestial bodies, helping them create accurate calendars and predict events like eclipses. In architecture, mathematical principles guided the construction of their iconic ziggurats, ensuring these massive structures were both stable and symmetrical. Trade also benefited from their numerical innovations. The Sumerians developed standardized weights and measures, which made commerce more efficient and fair. Merchants could calculate the value of goods with greater accuracy, fostering trust and cooperation across their vast trade networks. The influence of Sumerian mathematics extends far beyond their time. Their base 60 system continues to shape our daily lives, from the way we tell time to how we navigate the world using degrees of latitude and longitude. Their legacy reminds us that even the most ancient innovations can have a lasting impact on the modern world. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore how the Sumerians revolutionized transportation and technology with one of their most iconic inventions, the wheel. Now turning to one of the most transformative inventions in human history, we explore the Sumerians' creation of the wheel. This groundbreaking innovation didn't just change the way people moved, it revolutionized entire aspects of life, from transportation to craftsmanship, and laid the groundwork for countless technological advancements that followed. The Sumerians are credited with inventing the wheel around 3500 BCE, and its impact was immediate and far-reaching. Before the wheel, transporting heavy goods was a labor-intensive process, often requiring large groups of people or animals to drag loads over rough terrain. But with the introduction of the wheel, carts and wagons could carry heavier loads with far less effort, making trade and travel more efficient than ever before. The wheel didn't just transform transportation, it also revolutionized pottery. Sumerian potters began using the potter's wheel, a simple yet ingenious device that allowed them to create symmetrical and finely crafted vessels with greater speed and precision. This innovation not only improved the quality of their pottery but also increased production, enabling Sumerian artisans to meet the growing demands of their bustling cities. But the wheel's influence didn't stop there. It became a cornerstone of machinery, paving the way for more complex inventions. For example, the Sumerians used wheels in irrigation systems to lift water from rivers to fields, boosting agricultural productivity. Over time, the concept of the wheel spread to other civilizations, where it was adapted and refined for use in everything from chariots to mills. The spread of the wheel was a testament to its versatility and practicality. As neighboring cultures adopted and improved upon the design, it became a universal symbol of progress. From the chariots of ancient Egypt to the water wheels of medieval Europe, the wheel's legacy endured, shaping the course of human history. The Sumerians' invention of the wheel reminds us that even the simplest ideas can have a profound and lasting impact. It wasn't just a tool, it was a catalyst for innovation, enabling societies to grow, connect, and thrive. With this in mind, let's move forward to uncover another cornerstone of Sumerian civilization, their development of one of the earliest known legal systems, the Code of Ur-Nammu. Now turning to another monumental achievement of the Sumerians, we delve into the Code of Ur-Nammu, one of the earliest known legal systems in human history. Created around 2100 BCE, this groundbreaking code laid the foundation for organized law and justice, offering a glimpse into how the Sumerians sought to maintain order and fairness in their society. The Code of Ur-Nammu was structured as a series of laws that addressed a wide range of issues, from property disputes to violent crimes. Unlike earlier systems that relied heavily on arbitrary rulings, this code introduced a sense of consistency and predictability. It outlined specific punishments for specific offenses, ensuring that justice was not only served but also understood by all. For example, theft was met with fines, while more severe crimes like murder could result in the death penalty. What set the Code of Ur-Nammu apart was its emphasis on fairness and proportionality. Punishments were designed to fit the crime, avoiding excessive or arbitrary penalties. This principle of fairness was revolutionary for its time and reflected the Sumerians' belief in a just and orderly society. Interestingly, the Code of Ur-Nammu predates the more famous Code of Hammurabi by several centuries. While Hammurabi's code is often credited with being the first comprehensive legal system, it actually built upon the framework established by the Sumerians. Both codes share similarities, such as the use of written laws and the concept of proportional justice, but the Code of Ur-Nammu stands out for its pioneering role in shaping the idea of codified law. The Sumerians' legal innovations didn't just influence their own civilization, they set a precedent for future legal systems across the ancient world. From the Babylonians to the Romans, the principles introduced by the Code of Ur-Nammu continued to resonate, shaping the way societies approached justice and governance. As we reflect on this remarkable achievement, it's clear that the Sumerians were not only inventors of tools and technologies, but also pioneers of ideas that would shape the course of human history. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore another fascinating aspect of their civilization: their advanced knowledge of the stars and planets, which laid the groundwork for astronomy as we know it today. Now turning to the skies above ancient Sumer, we uncover the remarkable achievements of Sumerian astronomy. The Sumerians were among the first to study the stars and planets, not just as distant lights but as tools to understand and shape their world. Their observations of the heavens were deeply intertwined with their daily lives, influencing everything from farming to religious practices. One of their most significant contributions was the creation of the first lunar calendar. By tracking the cycles of the moon, the Sumerians developed a system to measure time, which became essential for organizing their agricultural activities. Farmers relied on this calendar to determine the best times for planting and harvesting, ensuring their crops thrived in the fertile lands of Mesopotamia. But their astronomical knowledge went far beyond farming. The Sumerians believed that the movements of celestial bodies were messages from the gods. They used their understanding of the stars to predict events like eclipses, which they interpreted as divine omens. These predictions were crucial for religious rituals, as priests would use them to guide offerings, ceremonies, and even decisions made by rulers. The Sumerians also mapped the night sky, identifying constellations and planets that would later influence Babylonian and Greek astronomy. Their ability to predict celestial events with surprising accuracy showcased their advanced mathematical and observational skills. For example, they recognized the patterns of Venus, often referred to as the Queen of Heaven, and used its movements to mark significant dates in their calendar. What makes Sumerian astronomy truly extraordinary is how it laid the groundwork for future civilizations. Their lunar calendar became the basis for later timekeeping systems, and their star charts influenced the development of astrology and astronomy in the ancient world. Even today, their legacy lives on in the way we measure time and study the cosmos. As we marvel at their celestial achievements, it's clear that the Sumerians were not just observers of the stars. They were pioneers who used the heavens to guide their lives and shape their civilization. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore another fascinating aspect of their culture: the enigmatic Anunnaki gods and their role in Sumerian mythology. Now turning to the realm of the divine, we delve into the mysterious world of the Anunnaki, the most powerful deities in the Sumerian pantheon. These gods were believed to hold dominion over the heavens, the earth, and the underworld, shaping the very fabric of existence according to Sumerian mythology. The Anunnaki were not just distant figures of worship, they were central to the Sumerians' understanding of creation, order, and the cosmos. At the heart of their mythology lies the story of how the Anunnaki descended from the heavens to establish order on earth. According to ancient texts, they were responsible for creating humanity, molding humans from clay to serve as laborers for the gods. This creation myth, found in tales like the Enuma Elish, highlights the Anunnaki's role as both creators and rulers, overseeing the destinies of mortals and immortals alike. The Anunnaki were also deeply involved in the governance of the universe. Each deity had a specific domain, from Enlil, the god of air and storms, to Inanna, the goddess of love and war. Their interactions and conflicts were believed to influence natural phenomena, human affairs, and even the rise and fall of cities. For the Sumerians, the Anunnaki were not abstract concepts, they were active participants in the world, shaping its events through their will and power. This belief in the Anunnaki's influence extended beyond Sumer, shaping the religious traditions of later Mesopotamian civilizations like the Babylonians and Assyrians. Many of the Anunnaki were adopted into these cultures, often with new names and attributes, but their core roles remained intact. For example, Enki, the Sumerian god of wisdom and water, became E in Babylonian mythology, retaining his association with creation and knowledge. In modern times, the Anunnaki have sparked fascination and speculation, particularly in theories linking them to extraterrestrial beings. Some researchers suggest that the Sumerians' descriptions of the Anunnaki as those who from heaven to earth came could point to ancient encounters with advanced alien civilizations. While these ideas remain controversial and lack scholarly consensus, they add an intriguing layer to the enduring mystery of the Anunnaki. As we explore the legacy of these powerful deities, it's clear that the Anunnaki were more than just figures of myth. They were a cornerstone of Sumerian culture, influencing everything from religion to governance. Their stories continue to captivate us, offering a glimpse into how the Sumerians understood their place in the universe. With this in mind, let's move forward to uncover another astonishing secret of the Sumerians, their version of the Great Flood myth, which predates even the biblical account. Now turning to one of the most enduring tales in human history, we uncover the Sumerian version of the Great Flood myth, a story that predates even the biblical account of Noah's Ark. This ancient narrative, found in the Epic of Gilgamesh, tells of a catastrophic deluge sent by the gods to wipe out humanity. According to the story, the god Enki warns a man named Utnapishtim of the impending disaster and instructs him to build a massive boat to save himself, his family, and pairs of animals. Sound familiar? The parallels between this Sumerian tale and the later biblical flood story are striking, suggesting a shared cultural memory that transcended time and geography. The Sumerian flood myth isn't just a fascinating story. It may also have roots in real historical events. Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was prone to devastating floods due to its geography. Some scholars believe that a particularly catastrophic flood around 5,000 years ago could have inspired these ancient tales. Imagine the impact of such an event on a civilization still in its infancy. The trauma of losing homes, crops, and lives would have been etched into the collective memory, eventually finding expression in myth and legend. What's even more intriguing is how this Sumerian flood story echoes in other cultures around the world. From the Greek myth of Deucalion to the Hindu tale of Manu, flood myths appear in nearly every ancient civilization. This global recurrence raises questions about whether these stories share a common origin or reflect universal human experiences with natural disasters. For the Sumerians, the flood myth wasn't just a cautionary tale. It was a way to explain the capriciousness of the gods and the fragility of human existence. As we reflect on this ancient story, it's remarkable to see how the Sumerians used myth to make sense of their world. The Great Flood myth not only reveals their understanding of divine power, but also highlights their resilience in the face of nature's unpredictability. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore another astonishing aspect of Sumerian civilization: their contributions to early medicine, where science and spirituality intertwined in fascinating ways. Now turning to the fascinating world of Sumerian medicine, we uncover a realm where science and spirituality were deeply intertwined. The Sumerians were pioneers in early medical practices, blending practical knowledge with mystical beliefs to treat ailments and injuries. Their contributions to medicine were remarkably advanced for their time, laying the groundwork for future civilizations. One of the most striking aspects of Sumerian medicine was their use of herbal remedies. They meticulously documented the healing properties of plants, creating some of the earliest known pharmacopoeias. Ingredients like myrrh, thyme, and licorice were commonly used to treat everything from digestive issues to infections. These remedies weren't just based on trial and error, they were the result of careful observation and experimentation, showcasing the Sumerians' keen understanding of the natural world. But their medical expertise didn't stop at herbs. The Sumerians also practiced surgical techniques, including setting broken bones and treating wounds. Archaeological evidence suggests they used tools like bronze scalpels and probes, demonstrating a surprising level of sophistication. While their methods might seem rudimentary by modern standards, they were groundbreaking for a civilization that existed over 4,000 years ago. What truly sets Sumerian medicine apart, however, is its integration of magic and spirituality. They believed that illness was often caused by supernatural forces, such as angry gods or malevolent spirits. To combat these, they combined physical treatments with rituals, incantations, and prayers. For example, a healer might prescribe a herbal remedy while also reciting a spell to drive away the evil spirit responsible for the sickness. This holistic approach reflects their belief in the interconnectedness of body, mind, and spirit. The Sumerians were also meticulous record keepers. Their medical knowledge was preserved on clay tablets written in cuneiform and passed down through generations. These texts not only detailed treatments and diagnoses but also included case studies, offering a glimpse into the daily lives of Sumerian healers. This practice of documentation ensured that their medical wisdom endured long after their civilization declined, influencing later cultures like the Babylonians and Assyrians. As we explore the legacy of Sumerian medicine, it's clear that their innovations were far ahead of their time. By blending practical techniques with spiritual beliefs, they created a unique system of healing that addressed both the physical and metaphysical aspects of health. With this in mind, let's move forward to another remarkable discovery, the royal tombs of Ur, where the Sumerians' beliefs about the afterlife come to life in stunning detail. Now turning to the royal tombs of Ur, we uncover one of the most breathtaking archaeological discoveries of the ancient world. These tombs, unearthed in the 1920s by British archaeologist Leonard Woolley, offer a stunning glimpse into the opulence and spiritual beliefs of the Sumerian elite. Buried beneath the sands of time, the royal tombs of Ur contained not only the remains of kings and queens, but also a treasure trove of artifacts that reveal the sophistication and artistry of this ancient civilization. Among the most remarkable finds is the Standard of Ur, a beautifully crafted wooden box inlaid with intricate mosaics made of shell, lapis lazuli, and red limestone. This artifact, often referred to as a standard, is believed to depict scenes of war and peace, showcasing the dual aspects of Sumerian society. On one side, soldiers march in formation, while on the other, a banquet scene unfolds with figures enjoying music and feasting. The Standard of Ur is more than just a work of art. It's a window into the values and priorities of the Sumerian elite, emphasizing both their military prowess and their love of culture and celebration. Another extraordinary artifact from the tombs is the Lyre of Ur, an ancient musical instrument adorned with a bull's head made of gold and lapis lazuli. This lyre, along with others found in the tombs, highlights the importance of music in Sumerian rituals and daily life. The Sumerians believed that music had the power to connect the living with the divine, and these instruments were likely used in ceremonies to honor the gods and accompany the deceased into the afterlife. The royal tombs also reveal fascinating details about Sumerian burial practices. The tombs were not just resting places for the dead, they were elaborate constructions designed to ensure a comfortable journey to the afterlife. Many of the tombs contained not only the remains of the royal individuals but also those of their attendants who were buried alongside them. This practice, known as retainer sacrifice, reflects the Sumerians' belief in an afterlife where the deceased would continue to need the services of their servants. The treasures buried with the royals' jewelry, weapons, and ceremonial objects were meant to provide for them in the next world. These items were crafted with incredible skill and care, demonstrating the Sumerians' mastery of metallurgy, gem cutting, and artistry. The presence of such lavish grave goods underscores the importance of the afterlife in Sumerian culture and their belief in a continuity of existence beyond death. As we delve into the royal tombs of Ur, it's clear that these discoveries are more than just archaeological marvels. They are a testament to the Sumerians' deep spiritual beliefs and their desire to honor their rulers in both life and death. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore another fascinating aspect of Sumerian civilization, their extensive trade networks which connected them to distant lands and cultures. Now turning to the Sumerian trade networks, we uncover a fascinating web of connections that stretched far beyond their city-states. The Sumerians were master traders, establishing some of the earliest known trade routes that linked Mesopotamia to distant regions like the Indus Valley, Anatolia, and even Egypt. These routes allowed them to exchange a wide variety of goods, including textiles, metals like copper and tin, precious stones such as lapis lazuli, and agricultural products like grains and dates. Trade was the lifeblood of the Sumerian economy, fueling their growth and prosperity. By importing raw materials that were scarce in their own region, such as timber and metals, they were able to craft tools, weapons, and luxury items that elevated their society. At the same time, they exported their own goods, particularly textiles and grain, which were highly prized by neighboring civilizations. This exchange of goods not only enriched the Sumerians economically, but also fostered cultural interactions as ideas, technologies, and artistic styles flowed along these trade routes. One of the most significant impacts of Sumerian trade was its role in driving technological advancements. For example, the need to transport goods efficiently led to the development of wheeled carts and boats, which revolutionized transportation. The Sumerians also created standardized weights and measures to facilitate fair trade, laying the groundwork for modern systems of commerce. But trade wasn't just about economics, it also shaped Sumerian culture. The influx of exotic goods and materials inspired their art and architecture, while interactions with foreign traders introduced new ideas and practices. For instance, the use of lapis lazuli, a gemstone imported from Afghanistan, became a hallmark of Sumerian jewelry and religious artifacts, symbolizing their connection to distant lands and divine realms. The Sumerians' ability to establish and maintain these trade networks speaks to their ingenuity and adaptability. They navigated vast distances, negotiated with foreign powers, and overcame logistical challenges to create a thriving trade system that supported their civilization for centuries. As we explore these networks, it's clear that trade was not just a means of survival for the Sumerians. It was a cornerstone of their identity and a driving force behind their remarkable achievements. With this in mind, let's move forward to uncover another groundbreaking innovation of the Sumerians, the invention of the sail, which transformed maritime trade and exploration. Now turning to the Sumerians' next groundbreaking innovation, we explore the invention of the sail, a development that forever changed the course of maritime trade and exploration. The Sumerians, already masters of land-based trade, recognized the potential of waterways as efficient routes for transporting goods. By harnessing the power of the wind, they transformed their simple reed boats into vessels capable of traveling greater distances, carrying heavier loads, and navigating the unpredictable currents of rivers and seas. The sail was more than just a tool, it was a game changer. Before its invention, boats relied solely on oars or poles, limiting their speed and range. With sails, the Sumerians could now venture farther than ever before, reaching distant lands and establishing new trade connections. This innovation allowed them to transport goods like textiles, grains, and metals across the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, as well as into the Persian Gulf, where they traded with civilizations in modern-day Iran, Oman, and beyond. The impact of the sail extended far beyond trade. It enabled the Sumerians to expand their cultural and political influence, as their ships carried not only goods but also ideas, technologies, and artistic styles. For example, the exchange of goods with the Indus Valley civilization introduced new materials and techniques that enriched Sumerian craftsmanship. Similarly, their interactions with coastal communities fostered alliances and diplomatic ties, strengthening their position as a dominant power in the ancient world. The sail also played a crucial role in the Sumerians' ability to adapt to their environment. Mesopotamia's rivers were both a blessing and a challenge. While they provided fertile land and transportation routes, they also required innovative solutions to navigate their unpredictable waters. The sail allowed the Sumerians to overcome these challenges, turning their rivers and seas into highways of commerce and exploration. This invention laid the foundation for future maritime advancements, influencing civilizations like the Phoenicians, Greeks, and Romans, who would later dominate the seas. The Sumerians' ingenuity in creating the sail not only revolutionized their own society, but also set the stage for centuries of maritime progress. As we reflect on this remarkable innovation, it's clear that the sail was more than just a piece of fabric. It was a symbol of the Sumerians' relentless drive to push boundaries and connect with the wider world. With this in mind, let's move forward to uncover another facet of their rich cultural legacy: the artistry and symbolism of Sumerian sculpture and cylinder seals. Now turning to the artistic brilliance of the Sumerians, we uncover a world where art was not merely decorative but a profound expression of their beliefs, power, and identity. Sumerian art and sculpture stand as some of the most intricate and meaningful creations of the ancient world, offering us a window into their complex society and worldview. One of their most remarkable artistic achievements was the creation of cylinder seals. These small, cylindrical objects, often made of stone, were intricately carved with detailed designs and inscriptions. When rolled onto wet clay, they left behind a raised impression that served as a signature, a mark of ownership, or even a protective charm. These seals were not just practical tools, they were miniature masterpieces depicting scenes of gods, animals, and daily life. Through them, we see how the Sumerians blended artistry with functionality, using these objects to convey both personal identity and divine protection. Equally impressive were their statues and reliefs, which adorned temples, palaces, and public spaces. Sumerian statues often depicted gods, rulers, and worshippers, capturing their subjects with a striking blend of realism and symbolism. For example, statues of worshippers typically featured wide, staring eyes and clasped hands, symbolizing their devotion and eternal presence before the gods. These sculptures were not just artistic expressions, they were acts of piety, meant to honor the divine and ensure favor from the gods. Reliefs, on the other hand, were carved into stone or clay panels, telling stories of conquest, ritual, and mythology. One of the most famous examples is the Standard of Ur, a wooden box inlaid with shell, lapis lazuli, and red limestone. Its panels depict scenes of war and peace, offering a vivid glimpse into Sumerian life and values. Through these reliefs, the Sumerians communicated their triumphs, their beliefs, and their connection to the divine, using art as a medium to immortalize their legacy. Art in Sumer was deeply intertwined with religion and politics. Temples were adorned with statues and reliefs that glorified the gods and reinforced the authority of the ruling elite. Kings and priests commissioned artworks to legitimize their power, often depicting themselves as intermediaries between the gods and the people. At the same time, art served a communal purpose, bringing people together in shared rituals and celebrations. Whether it was a statue in a temple or a seal in a merchant's hand, art was a unifying force that reflected the Sumerians' collective identity. The Sumerians' artistic achievements also reveal their worldview, a perspective that saw the divine in every aspect of life. Their art was not just about beauty, it was about meaning. Every carving, every statue, every seal was imbued with symbolism, connecting the earthly and the divine. Through their art, the Sumerians expressed their understanding of the universe, their place within it, and their hopes for the future. As we marvel at the intricacy and depth of Sumerian art, we gain a deeper appreciation for a civilization that saw creativity as a bridge between the human and the divine. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore another fascinating aspect of their society, the surprisingly progressive role of women in Sumerian culture. Now turning to the role of women in Sumerian society, we uncover a surprisingly progressive aspect of this ancient civilization. Unlike many other cultures of their time, the Sumerians granted women a level of autonomy and respect that was remarkable for its era. Women in Sumer had the right to own property, manage businesses, and even participate in religious ceremonies, roles that were often reserved for men in other societies. This progressive stance offers us a fascinating glimpse into the social dynamics of Sumer and challenges many of our assumptions about ancient gender roles. One of the most notable figures in Sumerian history is Enheduanna, the world's first known author. As the daughter of Sargon of Akkad, a powerful ruler, Enheduanna served as the high priestess of the moon god Nanna in the city of Ur. In this role, she wielded significant religious and political influence, bridging the gap between the divine and the earthly, but her legacy extends far beyond her titles. Enheduanna was a prolific writer, composing hymns and poems that honored the gods and explored themes of devotion, power, and identity. Her works, written in Cuneiform, have survived for thousands of years, making her not only a trailblazer for women but also a foundational figure in the history of literature. Beyond Enheduanna, Sumerian women played vital roles in various aspects of society. They could own and inherit property, engage in trade, and even serve as witnesses in legal disputes. Some women became merchants, managing their own businesses and contributing to the economy. Others held positions of authority within temples, overseeing religious rituals and maintaining the connection between the people and the gods. This level of participation highlights the Sumerians' recognition of women's capabilities and their importance in maintaining the social and spiritual fabric of their civilization. The legal rights afforded to Sumerian women were also groundbreaking. Marriage contracts, for example, often included provisions that protected women's interests, such as the right to divorce and the assurance of financial support. These contracts reflect a society that valued fairness and sought to balance the rights of both men and women. While Sumerian society was still patriarchal in many ways, the opportunities available to women were far more extensive than in many later civilizations. The progressive status of women in Sumer not only shaped their society but also left a lasting legacy. By empowering women to take on diverse roles, the Sumerians demonstrated a forward-thinking approach that resonates even today. As we reflect on their achievements, we gain a deeper understanding of how this ancient civilization valued equality and innovation in ways that continue to inspire. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore another cornerstone of Sumerian life, their groundbreaking advancements in agriculture. Now turning to the agricultural innovations of the Sumerians, we uncover yet another testament to their ingenuity and resourcefulness. The Sumerians were pioneers in farming, developing techniques and tools that revolutionized agriculture and laid the groundwork for their thriving civilization. One of their most significant contributions was the creation of advanced irrigation systems. Situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the Sumerians harnessed the power of these waterways to bring water to their fields, ensuring consistent crop yields even in the arid Mesopotamian climate. By digging canals and constructing levees, they transformed the landscape into fertile farmland, enabling them to grow surplus crops that sustained their growing population. Another groundbreaking innovation was the invention of the plow. The Sumerians were among the first to use this tool, which allowed them to till the soil more efficiently and prepare it for planting. Early plows were made of wood, but over time they evolved to include metal components, increasing their durability and effectiveness. This advancement not only boosted agricultural productivity, but also reduced the labor required for farming, freeing up time for other pursuits. Crop rotation was another key practice that the Sumerians mastered. By alternating the types of crops grown in a field each season, they prevented soil depletion and maintained the land's fertility. This method ensured that the soil remained rich in nutrients, allowing for continuous cultivation over many years. The Sumerians' understanding of crop rotation highlights their deep knowledge of agriculture and their ability to think long-term about sustainability. These agricultural innovations had a profound impact on Sumerian society. The ability to produce surplus food supported population growth and allowed people to specialize in other trades such as craftsmanship, trade, and governance. This specialization was a driving force behind the rise of cities and the development of a complex urban society. The Sumerians' agricultural achievements not only fed their people but also fueled their cultural and technological advancements, making them one of the most influential civilizations of the ancient world. As we reflect on the Sumerians' agricultural legacy, it's clear that their innovations were not just about survival, they were about thriving. Their ability to adapt to their environment and develop solutions to challenges set the stage for centuries of progress. With this foundation in place, let's move forward to explore another fascinating aspect of Sumerian life, the mystery of their language and how it continues to intrigue scholars today. Now turning to the mystery of the Sumerian language, we delve into one of the most intriguing puzzles of ancient history. Sumerian is what linguists call a language isolate, meaning it has no known relatives or connections to any other language family. This makes it a unique and challenging subject for scholars trying to decode its secrets. Unlike languages such as Latin or Greek, which have clear descendants and related tongues, Sumerian stands alone, a linguistic enigma that has fascinated researchers for centuries. The process of deciphering Sumerian began with the discovery of thousands of clay tablets inscribed with cuneiform script. These tablets, many of which were administrative records, literary works, or religious texts, provided the raw material for understanding the language. Early efforts focused on comparing Sumerian to other known languages, but this approach hit a wall due to its isolation. Instead, scholars had to rely on internal patterns, such as repeated phrases and grammatical structures, to piece together its grammar and vocabulary. Over time, they identified key elements, like the use of prefixes and suffixes to indicate tense, case, and number, as well as the language's complex system of verb conjugations. One of the most significant breakthroughs came from bilingual texts, where Sumerian was paired with Akkadian, a Semitic language that later became dominant in Mesopotamia. These texts acted as a kind of Rosetta Stone, allowing scholars to match Sumerian words and phrases with their Akkadian equivalents. This comparative method unlocked the meanings of many Sumerian terms and provided insights into their culture, from their legal systems and religious practices to their daily lives. What does the Sumerian language reveal about their civilization? For one, it highlights their intellectual sophistication. The complexity of their grammar and the richness of their vocabulary suggest a society that valued precision and detail, especially in areas like law, trade, and religion. The language also reflects their worldview, with words and phrases that emphasize their connection to the natural world, their reverence for the gods, and their focus on order and hierarchy. Yet, despite the progress made, many questions remain. Some Sumerian words and expressions still defy translation, and scholars continue to debate the finer points of its grammar and syntax. The language's isolation also raises questions about its origins. Where did it come from? Was it the product of an earlier, now lost civilization, or did it develop independently in Mesopotamia? These unanswered questions keep the study of Sumerian alive and ensure that it remains a vibrant field of research. As we explore the mysteries of the Sumerian language, we gain not only a deeper understanding of their culture, but also a profound appreciation for the resilience of human knowledge. Their words, preserved on clay tablets for thousands of years, continue to speak to us across the ages, offering glimpses into a world that shaped the course of history. With this foundation, let's move forward to uncover another remarkable aspect of Sumerian civilization, their system of education and the role of scribes in preserving their legacy. Now turning to the world of Sumerian education, we uncover a system that was as advanced as it was essential to their society. At the heart of this system were the adabas, or tablet houses, which served as the schools of ancient Sumer. These institutions were not just places of learning but the very foundation of their civilization, ensuring the continuity of their culture, administration, and intellectual traditions. In the adabas, students, often the sons of elite families, underwent rigorous training to become scribes. These scribes were the backbone of Sumerian society, responsible for recording everything from legal contracts and trade agreements to religious texts and literary works. The curriculum was demanding, focusing on three key areas: writing, mathematics, and literature. Students spent years mastering cuneiform, the complex script that required precision and patience. They practiced by copying texts, starting with simple lists of words and progressing to more advanced works like hymns, myths, and administrative records. Mathematics was another cornerstone of their education. Sumerian students learned to work with their base 60-number system, which influenced everything from trade calculations to architectural designs. They studied geometry, algebra, and even astronomy, skills that were crucial for managing the city-state's resources and planning large-scale projects like irrigation systems and ziggurats. Literature also played a vital role in the adabas. Students were exposed to some of the earliest known works of human creativity, including the Epic of Gilgamesh. These texts not only taught language and storytelling, but also imparted moral lessons and cultural values. The study of literature helped shape the worldview of future leaders, priests, and administrators, ensuring that the ideals of Sumerian society were passed down through generations. The training of scribes was not just about acquiring skills. It was a transformative process that instilled discipline, attention to detail, and a deep respect for knowledge. Scribes were highly respected figures, often holding influential positions in government, religion, and commerce. Their work preserved the achievements of Sumerian civilization and laid the groundwork for future cultures in Mesopotamia. The importance of education in Sumer cannot be overstated. It was the glue that held their society together, enabling them to manage complex bureaucracies, maintain extensive trade networks, and create enduring works of art and literature. Without the adabas and the scribes they produced, much of what we know about the Sumerians would have been lost to history. As we reflect on the Sumerian system of education, we see a civilization that understood the value of knowledge and the power of the written word. Their commitment to learning not only sustained their own society, but also left a legacy that continues to inspire us today. With this understanding, let's move forward to explore another fascinating aspect of Sumerian life, the factors that led to the decline of their once great civilization. Now turning to the decline of Sumer, we uncover a story of a civilization that, despite its brilliance, faced challenges it could not overcome. The fall of Sumerian civilization was not the result of a single event but a combination of factors that gradually weakened its foundations. One of the most significant threats came from external invasions. Around 2100 BC, the Akkadians, led by Sargon the Great, began to exert their influence over Sumer. While Sargon initially united the city-states under his rule, this unity was short-lived. After his reign, the region became vulnerable to further invasions, including those by the Gutians, a nomadic people from the Zagros Mountains. These invasions disrupted trade, destabilized governance, and left the once thriving city-states in disarray. Environmental changes also played a crucial role in Sumer's decline. The fertile lands between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which had sustained Sumerian agriculture for centuries, began to suffer from over-irrigation. Over time, the soil became increasingly saline, reducing crop yields and threatening food security. This environmental degradation, combined with periods of drought, placed immense strain on the population and weakened the economy. The Sumerians, who had once mastered the art of irrigation, found themselves struggling to adapt to these changing conditions. Internal conflicts further exacerbated the situation. The city-states of Sumer, which had long competed for power and resources, often engaged in warfare with one another. These conflicts drained their resources and diverted attention from addressing external threats and environmental challenges. The lack of a unified political structure made it difficult for the Sumerians to mount a coordinated response to the crises they faced. Despite their decline, the legacy of the Sumerians endured. Their innovations in writing, law, mathematics, and architecture were adopted and adapted by later Mesopotamian cultures, including the Babylonians and Assyrians. The Code of Ur-Nammu, for example, influenced the development of Hammurabi's famous legal code. Sumerian myths and literature, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, continued to inspire storytellers and thinkers for generations. Even their religious practices and deities were integrated into the pantheons of subsequent civilizations. The fall of Sumer serves as a reminder of the fragility of even the most advanced societies. Yet it also highlights the enduring power of their contributions. The Sumerians may have faded from the stage of history, but their ideas and achievements laid the groundwork for the civilizations that followed. As we move forward, we'll explore how their influence extended far beyond their own time, shaping the course of human history in ways that still resonate today. Now turning to the world of sound and rhythm, we uncover the Sumerians' remarkable contributions to music, an art form that resonated deeply within their culture. Music was not just entertainment for the Sumerians, it was a vital part of their daily lives, woven into their religious ceremonies, social gatherings, and even their work routines. Among their most notable inventions was the lyre, a stringed instrument that became a symbol of their musical ingenuity. The lyre, often beautifully decorated with intricate carvings and inlays, was played by plucking its strings, producing melodies that could evoke both joy and solemnity. The Sumerians also crafted other instruments such as drums, flutes, and harps, each serving a unique purpose in their musical traditions. These instruments were not only used in temples to honor their gods, but also in royal courts and public festivals, where music brought people together and celebrated their shared identity. The sound of music filled the air during rituals, helping to create a connection between the earthly and the divine. What's fascinating is how deeply music was integrated into their society. It was believed to have healing properties, capable of soothing the soul and even curing ailments. Musicians held a respected position in Sumerian culture, often performing in temples and at important events. The lyrics of their songs, preserved in cuneiform tablets, reveal themes of love, heroism, and devotion to the gods, offering us a glimpse into their values and emotions. The legacy of Sumerian music extends far beyond their time. The instruments they created and the melodies they composed influenced later Mesopotamian cultures and even found their way into the musical traditions of ancient Greece and Rome. The lyre, in particular, became a lasting symbol of artistic expression, inspiring musicians for thousands of years. As we reflect on the Sumerians' musical achievements, it's clear that their love for music was more than just a pastime. It was a reflection of their humanity, a way to express their deepest feelings and connect with the divine. Moving forward, we'll explore another fascinating aspect of their culture, one that reveals how they measured time and organized their lives around the rhythms of the cosmos. Now turning to the rhythms of time, we uncover the Sumerians' ingenious creation of the lunar-based calendar, a system that not only organized their daily lives but also shaped the way future civilizations measured time. The Sumerian calendar was deeply tied to the cycles of the moon, with each month beginning at the first sighting of the new moon. This lunar system divided the year into 12 months, each lasting approximately 29 or 30 days, aligning closely with the moon's phases. This calendar was far more than a tool for tracking days. It was the backbone of Sumerian society. Farmers relied on it to plan their agricultural activities, knowing exactly when to plant and harvest crops to ensure bountiful yields. Religious festivals were also scheduled according to the calendar, with each month dedicated to specific deities and rituals. These celebrations were not only spiritual events but also opportunities for communities to come together, reinforcing social bonds and shared traditions. Administratively, the calendar played a crucial role in organizing the city-states. It helped regulate trade, taxation, and labor, ensuring that resources were managed efficiently and that everyone contributed to the collective well-being. The Sumerians even used their calendar to mark significant historical events, creating a sense of continuity and identity across generations. What's truly remarkable is how the Sumerian calendar influenced later civilizations. Their lunar-based system laid the groundwork for the Babylonian calendar, which in turn inspired the Hebrew and Islamic calendars. Even the modern Gregorian calendar, though solar-based, owes a debt to these early innovations in timekeeping. As we reflect on the Sumerian calendar, it's clear that their understanding of time was not just practical but deeply symbolic. It connected them to the natural world, their gods, and each other, creating a harmonious rhythm that guided their lives. Moving forward, we'll explore how the Sumerians harnessed their knowledge of time and the cosmos to defend their cities and expand their influence through warfare. Now turning to the battlefield, we delve into the world of Sumerian warfare, a realm where strategy, innovation, and ambition collided. The Sumerians were not only pioneers of civilization, but also masters of military tactics, using their ingenuity to protect their city-states and expand their influence across Mesopotamia. At the heart of their military prowess were their advanced weapons and armor. Sumerian soldiers wielded bronze-tipped spears, axes, and daggers, tools that gave them a significant edge in close combat. They also employed slings and bows, allowing them to strike from a distance with deadly accuracy. To protect themselves, warriors wore helmets and carried shields made of leather and metal, offering both mobility and defense. But it wasn't just their weapons that made the Sumerians formidable. Their military strategies were equally impressive. City-states like Ur and Uruk maintained standing armies, trained and ready to defend their territories at a moment's notice. These armies were organized into units, each with specific roles, from infantry to charioteers. The Sumerians were among the first to use chariots in battle, a revolutionary innovation that allowed them to move quickly across the battlefield and overwhelm their enemies. Warfare was not just about defense, it was also a tool for expansion. Sumerian city-states often clashed over resources, trade routes, and political dominance. Victories in battle brought wealth, land, and prestige, solidifying a city-state's power and influence. However, these conflicts were not without cost. The constant rivalries and skirmishes drained resources and sometimes left cities vulnerable to external threats. One of the most fascinating aspects of Sumerian warfare was its connection to their religion and culture. Battles were often seen as divine contests, with the gods believed to favor the victors. Kings and leaders would invoke the names of deities before going to war, seeking their blessing and protection. This spiritual dimension added a layer of meaning to their conflicts, turning warfare into a sacred duty as much as a political necessity. As we reflect on Sumerian warfare, it's clear that their military achievements were as groundbreaking as their cultural and technological innovations. Their strategies and weapons not only secured their survival but also laid the foundation for future civilizations to build upon. Moving forward, we'll explore the Sumerians' beliefs about the afterlife and how these ideas shaped their rituals and worldview. Now turning to the realm of the afterlife, we uncover the Sumerians' profound beliefs about death and what lay beyond. For the Sumerians, death was not an end but a transition to another world, a shadowy underworld known as Ur. This realm was ruled by the god Nergal, a fearsome deity associated with death, disease, and the underworld. The journey to Ur was fraught with peril, as the deceased had to navigate a series of trials and obstacles to reach their final resting place. The Sumerians believed that the quality of one's afterlife depended heavily on how they were buried and the rituals performed in their honor. Proper burial was essential to ensure a safe passage to the underworld and to prevent the dead from returning as restless spirits. This belief led to elaborate burial practices, particularly for the elite. Royal tombs, like those discovered in Ur, were filled with treasures, weapons, and even servants, who were sometimes sacrificed to accompany their masters into the afterlife. These offerings were meant to provide comfort and status in the underworld, reflecting the Sumerians' belief in a continuation of earthly hierarchies beyond death. Rituals played a crucial role in Sumerian funerary practices. Families would regularly offer food, drink, and prayers to their deceased loved ones, believing that these acts sustained the spirits in the underworld. Failure to perform these rituals could result in the dead becoming malevolent forces, bringing misfortune to the living. This connection between the living and the dead highlights the Sumerians' deep respect for their ancestors and their belief in the enduring bond between generations. The Sumerian afterlife was not a place of reward or punishment, but a somber existence where all souls, regardless of their deeds in life, shared the same fate. This egalitarian view of the afterlife contrasts sharply with later civilizations, where moral conduct determined one's eternal destiny. Yet, the Sumerians' focus on proper burial and ritual underscores their belief in the importance of honoring the dead and maintaining harmony between the worlds of the living and the departed. As we explore these beliefs, it becomes clear that the Sumerians' view of the afterlife was deeply intertwined with their daily lives, shaping their customs, values, and even their architecture. Moving forward, we'll examine how the Sumerians' innovations and ideas influenced the civilizations that followed, leaving an indelible mark on human history. Now turning to the enduring legacy of the Sumerians, we uncover how their groundbreaking innovations influenced the civilizations that followed. The Sumerians were pioneers in many fields, and their contributions became the foundation upon which later cultures built their own achievements. From writing and law to architecture and religion, the Sumerians left an indelible mark on human history. One of their most significant contributions was the invention of Cuneiform, the world's first writing system. This revolutionary tool not only transformed record-keeping and administration in Sumer, but also spread to neighboring regions. The Babylonians and Assyrians adopted and adapted cuneiform, using it to document their own laws, literature, and historical events. Even the Hittites, who lived far to the north, used cuneiform to record their treaties and royal decrees. The influence of Sumerian writing extended beyond Mesopotamia, laying the groundwork for the development of other writing systems across the ancient world. In the realm of law, the Sumerians set a precedent with the Code of Ur-Nammu, one of the earliest known legal codes. This system of laws emphasized fairness and justice, principles that were later echoed in the more famous Code of Hammurabi. The Babylonians refined and expanded upon Sumerian legal ideas, creating a legacy that influenced legal systems for centuries to come. Even the concept of written laws, which we take for granted today, can be traced back to the Sumerians. Architecturally, the Sumerians' ziggurats and urban planning inspired later civilizations. The Babylonians, for example, built their own towering ziggurats, such as the Anunnaki, which some scholars believe may have inspired the biblical story of the Tower of Babel. The Assyrians, too, incorporated Sumerian architectural techniques into their palaces and temples. Even the Greeks and Romans, though separated by time and distance, were influenced by the Sumerian emphasis on monumental structures and organized city layouts. Religiously, the Sumerian pantheon and myths had a profound impact on later cultures. The Babylonians and Assyrians adopted many Sumerian gods, renaming them but preserving their roles and stories. The epic tales of Sumerian heroes like Gilgamesh were retold and reimagined by later civilizations, becoming part of a shared cultural heritage. The Sumerian flood myth, for instance, bears striking similarities to the story of Noah's Ark in the Bible, suggesting a deep and lasting influence on religious traditions. Even in fields like mathematics and astronomy, the Sumerians' innovations continued to shape the world. Their base 60 number system, which we still use today for measuring time and angles, was adopted by the Babylonians and passed down through the ages. Their observations of the stars laid the foundation for later astronomical studies, influencing Greek and Roman scholars who sought to understand the cosmos. As we reflect on the Sumerian legacy, it's clear that their contributions were not confined to their own time and place. Instead, they became a cornerstone of human civilization, shaping the cultures that followed and leaving a legacy that endures to this day. Moving forward, we'll explore the modern discoveries and ongoing mysteries that continue to shed light on this remarkable civilization. Now turning to the modern era, we find that the mysteries of the Sumerians are far from fully unraveled. Recent archaeological discoveries continue to shed new light on this ancient civilization, offering fresh insights while also raising intriguing questions that keep scholars and enthusiasts captivated. One of the most exciting developments in recent years has been the uncovering of previously unknown Sumerian cities and artifacts. Advanced technologies like ground-penetrating radar and satellite imaging have allowed researchers to locate buried ruins without extensive excavation. These discoveries have revealed intricate urban layouts, elaborate irrigation systems, and even evidence of early industrial activities, such as metalworking and textile production. Each find adds another piece to the puzzle of how the Sumerians lived, worked, and thrived. Yet, despite these breakthroughs, many mysteries remain. One of the most enduring questions revolves around the origins of the Sumerian language. Unlike most ancient languages, Sumerian is a language isolate, meaning it has no known relatives or connections to other languages. Scholars have spent decades deciphering its grammar and vocabulary, but its origins remain a tantalizing enigma. Was it a product of an even older, now lost civilization, or did it evolve independently in the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia? The answers continue to elude us. Another mystery lies in the true purpose of the Ziggurats, those towering stepped structures that dominate the Sumerian landscape. While they are widely believed to have served as temples or administrative centers, some researchers propose alternative theories. Could they have been astronomical observatories used to track the movements of the stars and planets? Or were they symbolic representations of a connection between heaven and earth, meant to bridge the gap between the divine and the mortal? The debate continues, fueled by new findings and reinterpretations of ancient texts. Even the Sumerians' advanced knowledge of astronomy raises questions. How did they achieve such precise observations without the tools we have today? Some theories suggest they may have had access to lost technologies or received knowledge from an outside source, though these ideas remain speculative. What we do know is that their understanding of celestial patterns influenced not only their own culture but also the civilizations that followed, leaving a legacy that still shapes our understanding of the cosmos. As we delve deeper into the modern study of the Sumerians, it's clear that their story is far from complete. Each discovery brings us closer to understanding this remarkable civilization, but it also reminds us of how much we have yet to learn. The Sumerians continue to captivate us not just for what they achieved, but for the mysteries they left behind. Moving forward, we'll explore how their legacy lives on in popular culture, inspiring stories, art, and imagination across the ages. Now turning to the enigma of the Ziggurats, these towering structures remain one of the most iconic and mysterious achievements of the Sumerians. Built with incredible precision and grandeur, Ziggurats were not just architectural marvels but also central to the spiritual and cultural life of the Sumerians. Their construction involved massive amounts of labor and resources, with layers of baked bricks and bitumen mortar creating a durable foundation that has stood the test of time. But what exactly were these structures used for? The most widely accepted theory is that ziggurats served as temples dedicated to the worship of the Sumerian gods. Each city-state had its own ziggurat, often located at the heart of the city, symbolizing the connection between the divine and the earthly realm. The towering height of these structures was believed to bring the priests and rulers closer to the heavens, allowing them to communicate with the gods. Rituals, offerings, and ceremonies were conducted on the upper levels, reinforcing the spiritual significance of these monuments. However, some researchers propose that ziggurats had a dual purpose, functioning not only as religious centers but also as administrative hubs. The lower levels may have housed offices and storage rooms where scribes and officials managed the city's affairs, recorded trade transactions, and stored valuable goods. This theory suggests that ziggurats were more than just places of worship. They were the beating heart of Sumerian society, where religion and governance intertwined. Another fascinating theory links ziggurats to astronomy. The precise alignment of these structures with celestial bodies has led some to speculate that they were used as observatories. The Sumerians were known for their advanced knowledge of the stars, and it's possible that the ziggurat step design allowed priests to track the movements of the sun, moon, and planets. This astronomical knowledge would have been crucial for agricultural planning, religious festivals, and even predicting celestial events. Beyond their practical functions, ziggurats also held deep symbolic meaning. Their step design is thought to represent a stairway to the heavens, a physical manifestation of the Sumerians' belief in a connection between the mortal world and the divine. Some scholars suggest that the ziggurat's construction mirrored the Sumerian creation myth, where the gods descended from the heavens to bring order to the earth. In this sense, ziggurats were not just buildings, they were sacred symbols of the Sumerians' worldview and their place in the cosmos. As we continue to uncover more about these ancient structures, the mystery of the ziggurats only deepens. Were they temples, observatories, administrative centers, or all of the above? Each theory offers a glimpse into the ingenuity and complexity of Sumerian civilization, reminding us that their achievements were as multifaceted as they were extraordinary. Moving forward, we'll explore how the Sumerians' legacy has influenced modern culture, inspiring stories, art, and imagination across the ages. Now turning to the enduring legacy of the Sumerians in pop culture, it's fascinating to see how their myths, symbols, and artifacts continue to captivate modern audiences. From literature to movies and video games, the ancient Sumerians have left an indelible mark on our collective imagination, proving that their stories are as timeless as they are mysterious. One of the most prominent examples is the influence of Sumerian mythology on modern fantasy literature. The Epic of Gilgamesh, with its themes of heroism, mortality, and the search for immortality, has inspired countless authors. Writers like J.R.R. Tolkien and Neil Gaiman have drawn parallels between their works and the ancient Sumerian tales, weaving elements of their myths into their own narratives. The idea of a hero's journey, a central theme in Gilgamesh, has become a cornerstone of storytelling across genres. In the world of cinema, Sumerian themes have also found their way onto the big screen. Films like Stargate and The Fifth Element incorporate elements of Sumerian mythology, often blending it with science fiction to create compelling narratives. The concept of ancient gods, advanced civilizations, and mysterious artifacts resonates deeply with audiences, tapping into our fascination with the unknown and the ancient. Video games, too, have embraced the allure of Sumerian culture. Titles like Assassin's Creed and Civilization feature Sumerian cities, gods, and artifacts, allowing players to explore and interact with this ancient world in immersive ways. These games not only entertain but also educate, introducing players to the rich history and mythology of the Sumerians in an engaging format. Beyond entertainment, Sumerian symbols and artifacts have permeated popular culture in subtle yet significant ways. The image of the ziggurat, for instance, has become a symbol of ancient mystery and grandeur, often used in art and design to evoke a sense of awe and wonder. Similarly, the Anunnaki, the powerful deities of the Sumerian pantheon, have sparked endless speculation and inspired theories about extraterrestrial influence, further fueling their presence in modern storytelling. What makes the Sumerian legacy so enduring is its ability to blend the ancient with the contemporary. Their myths and symbols speak to universal themes: life, death, power, and the divine, that resonate across time and cultures. Whether through a best-selling novel, a blockbuster movie, or a popular video game, the Sumerians continue to inspire and intrigue, reminding us of the profound impact they've had on human history and imagination. As we reflect on their influence, it's clear that the Sumerians are more than just an ancient civilization. They are a source of endless fascination, a bridge between the past and the present, and a testament to the power of storytelling. Moving forward, we'll conclude our journey by summarizing the incredible contributions of the Sumerians and how their secrets continue to shape our understanding of the world. Now turning to the conclusion of our journey through the secrets of the Sumerians, it's time to reflect on the astonishing legacy of this ancient civilization. From the invention of writing and the wheel to their groundbreaking advancements in mathematics, astronomy, and law, the Sumerians laid the foundation for countless aspects of modern life. Their city-states like Uruk and Ur were marvels of urban planning, while their myths, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, continue to inspire literature and art to this day. The Sumerians' contributions to agriculture, trade, and medicine revolutionized their world and set the stage for future civilizations. Their legal code, the Code of Ur-Nammu, introduced principles of fairness and justice that still resonate in modern legal systems. Meanwhile, their intricate art and architecture, including the enigmatic ziggurats, stand as testaments to their ingenuity and spiritual depth. But perhaps what's most remarkable about the Sumerians is how their influence extends far beyond their time. Their myths and symbols have permeated pop culture, from books and movies to video games, proving that their stories are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. The mysteries surrounding their language, their beliefs about the afterlife, and even their possible connections to extraterrestrial theories continue to captivate scholars and enthusiasts alike. As we wrap up this exploration, it's clear that the Sumerians were not just an ancient civilization. They were pioneers, visionaries, and storytellers whose impact on human history is immeasurable. Their secrets have left us speechless, but they've also inspired us to keep asking questions, to keep exploring, and to keep uncovering the truths of our past. So, what do you think? Which of these Sumerian secrets surprised you the most? How do you see their influence in the world around you today? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a journey into the mysteries of history. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep discovering the incredible stories that shape our world.